Jane Dayus Hinch is a British wedding planner who's used to working with brides and grooms. But this time, there's no groom in sight.
This is where it's getting complicated.
How will Jane cope with a bride who can't stop crying?
I'm just starting to panic.
And another bride who can't stop smoking?
Oh, I need a smoke.
Will Jane be able to put out this fire?
Panic!
Or will she end up having a gay old time? Kim and Charmaine met online, became friends, then went on a road trip.
Off we go. And originally it had planned on being her and her brother and a friend. Well, all of a sudden, no one else is going except Charmaine and myself. So, I mean, you spend that much time going to the East Coast with somebody in a car, in a small car, you get to know each other very well, very quickly.
Now, they're on the road to marriage.
She's the person that I've been most comfortable with ever in my entire life. I knew very, very early in our relationship that this was someone that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with.
Unfortunately, the road to the altar is proving to be a bumpy one.
We are so over our heads right now as far as planning it, trying to pull everything together. Half the time, my mind, when I get into bed at night, it's not stopping.
The wedding is 5 days away, and Kim and Charmaine have done nothing.
Haven't done anything but flowers.
We don't have a DJ booked yet.
We haven't got anyone to do the catering yet.
I don't have my vows written yet.
All of that stuff.
That's because Kim and Charmaine are master procrastinators.
Oh my God, we haven't done this, we haven't done that.
Neither one of us are taking the lead in any way.
I spend a lot of time shampooing my hair.
In fact, if it wasn't for a friend who offered to host their wedding in her backyard, they wouldn't even have a venue. But even then, the venue is less than ideal.
When we first walked over there and we saw the backyard, I think our stomachs dropped. Our hearts dropped.
I'm going to get married next to a pile of junk. I started looking around the yard and I looked at Kim and I said, so, you want to elope?
Clearly, this wedding is a mess.
It's pathetic.
Charmaine and I really thought that we could do this. And we realized a week before the wedding we can't. And I don't know how we're going to pull it off.
We need help.
Looks like a job for British wedding planner extraordinaire, Jane Dayus Hinch.
I've just arrived from England. I'm here for a nuptial emergency.
I'm scared to death because we only have a few days to the wedding, and I'm thinking that Jane is going to say, well, you haven't done anything about this and this and this and this.
And then
what
you're
are your
gonna start
ideas?
crying.
And I'm going to be a total blank, and I'm going to, I didn't think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually worried about that too. I'm worried that she's going to say, but you didn't think about this, and this still needs to be done, and that still needs to be done, and we have 3 days.
Jane's a fairy godmother who will grant Kim and Charmaine 3 wedding wishes to clean up this disaster. Thankfully, Jane's been briefed on the couple.
I've been told it's a Lebanese wedding.
Uh-oh, there must have been a typo in the memo.
Hello. Oh. So it's not a Lebanese wedding?
She didn't want to say lesbian.
No.
It's an all-female wedding,
Yes.
like an all-female soccer team.
But that's not the biggest shock.
When's the wedding?
Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yes. Saturday, I do believe, freak Jane out.
This Saturday?
Yes, this Saturday. Please don't say it again.
Recover from shock. Is this where we're having the wedding?
This is where the wedding is going to
Yes.
be, yes.
When Jane saw the yard, I saw shock and dismay
You get so quiet, it scares me.
Yeah.
It shows I'm thinking.
Her eyes kept getting wider the more she looked around. Her hands were clenching and unclenching. Her lips were getting smaller.
This isn't a wedding venue. This is a junkyard. What about decorating the tent?
We don't really know how we're doing it. It will be the ugliest wedding in history.
Linen tablecloths or paper?
You want it to be a little bit elegant. You don't want it to be tacky.
And they're actually plastic, are they not?
Pink.
Pink plastic tablecloths. This is a nightmare.
Could there be anything else?
Flowers, cake, and catering.
Looks like that would be a no.
3 days left. We need 3 weeks for this one.
She's really starting to scare me now.
Charmaine is panicking. I really think she's going to lose it.
I can see tears.
I'm just starting to panic.
Okay.
It'll be all right.
Charmaine looks to Jane for some reassurance.
Can we do it?
This is bad. Very bad.
I'm now waiting for Jane to come back and say, I have a plan, and she's gonna scare the crap out of me.
That's exactly what happens next.
Deep breaths, starting at the top. The junk. The junk. That's just the tip of the iceberg. The tent arrives on Thursday. We need to do a floor plan.
I mean, we knew that had to be done, but we hadn't really thought that through.
No.
Food, cake. How do we put all that together, and who is?
I'm worried about not getting a decent caterer and ending up having to order pizza for 60 people.
It seemed even more overwhelming, if possible.
Centerpieces have still got to be made. A rehearsal is really important.
Oh, okay.
This is what we need to do in 3 days.
I keep looking at the list and thinking, we have all these things to do. How are we going to do it? And I get cold. I'm not sleeping well. I'm not being a very good listener because my mind is just racing all over the place. So I guess I internalize it a lot.
You get one shot at this. Have I missed anything?
I guess what I wanted to say that I've already been here. I've been married before. Everything about this day, I want it to be everything that it can possibly be for Charmaine.
You're getting me really choked here.
But somehow, Jane manages to cut through the estrogen.
Oh, right. You've got 3 wishes. Use your wishes wisely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jane.
Once the tears are wiped away, Kim and Charmaine tackle the list, and they start at the top of the heap.
It's really overwhelming when you take a look at it. There's an old skidoo boat thing. There's a lawnmower.
Bicycle parts and things of wood, and I think there's a mattress spring.
Some of that stuff is pretty heavy, though.
But the weight of that one very heavy plastic chair is too much for Kim.
You know what? There's no way. Oh, I need a break.
And so with her last bit of strength, Kim picks up a smoke, then picks up the phone.
Hi, Jane. I'm hoping that you're going to say yes to this wish.
Oh, goodness.
It was a huge job to get rid of the junk.
I've had a call from Kim. She's in a panic, and they just can't do it.
We just gave up and begged Jane for a wish.
She's very upset because it's now come to crunch time, and we've just got to move the junk. So, bring it on.
Even Jane can't pull this one off on her own, so she calls for backup.
How many men can you let me have? Oh, that's good. Hi, I'm Jane.
I'm John, nice to meet you.
In this, to the left. Go that way, Biss, that's it. To me, that's it. This is all gotta go. Oh! I love manual labor. It was a huge wish, but I knew that it had to be done. I'm a wedding planner.
While Jane slugs it out with the boys, the girls run around town trying to cross items off their list. First stop, finding a caterer.
The wedding is Saturday night. It has to be ready for next Saturday.
Did Kim just say next Saturday? After they put in that sketchy order, it's off to buy wedding jewelry.
Oh yeah, you need a necklace. Charmaine, come on. You think it is?
While in the jewelry store, it becomes crystal clear who wears the pantsuit in this relationship.
Let me have my purse so I can buy it, dear. And no, you can't have anything else from here. No, well look. No. Don't have time. Forget it. I told you that you, no.
Meanwhile, back at the venue, Jane's still neck deep in junk.
I can't believe that Kim and Charmaine put me up for this. A trampoline, a rotting hammock.
After hours of back-breaking work, Jane finally says good riddance to bad rubbish. Jane may be done for the day, but Kim and Charmaine still have to go to the florist.
We need to order flowers for the wedding.
Well, normally we need like at least 3 months of booking.
We need to pick these up on Saturday.
With the wedding only 3 days away, all Kim and Charmaine can do is cross their fingers. Then, Kim tackles the centerpieces, while Charmaine procrastinates.
Haven't done my vows yet. I'm nervous about speaking my vows in front of people, just because I think I will probably have a complete meltdown.
I think Charmaine attempted to write her vows the other night. I don't think she got very far.
That doesn't make Kim very happy.
I'm sitting here doing something, and you're sitting there not doing anything.
Okay.
You can start on something else.
Yes, dear.
Like a big old glass of wine.
I wonder if we have any wine inside. I think I need a drink tonight to relax before I go to sleep.
But there isn't enough alcohol in the world to make them forget what still needs to be done.
There's a lot of numbers going under Saturday. 12 o'clock, pick up food, pick up the cake, pick up flowers at 2 o'clock. When are we going to decorate?
So what do you think?
I think that should be a wish.
Who's going to ask Jane?
I can ask Jane.
You can ask her?
I can ask Jane.
All
You
right.
seem so surprised. We have no idea how we're going to decorate the yard, so it's just going to be a big disaster, and it will be the ugliest wedding in history. So if there's another show out there, the ugliest wedding in history, give us a call, because if Jane doesn't help us, we're your people.
I've had a call from Charmaine to say that they've got their next wish. They would like me to decorate the tent.
Which is supposed to arrive at 9 a.m., but it doesn't. But that gives Charmaine plenty of time to confirm the caterer, check up on the DJ, and write her vows. But she doesn't. Instead, Charmaine does her nails. After filing, painting, and polishing, the tent still hasn't arrived.
It's 11:37 and I still don't have a tent. I'm gonna try not to cry today. That's my goal today. Got my nails done today. Yay me.
But just when Charmaine's about to give up, the phone rings.
Hello? Oh, okay, so what time will you be here? I was here for 9 this morning. The tent guy is stuck in traffic.
An hour and a half later, the tent arrives.
Took long,
Bless you.
Thank you.
And Charmaine's feeling good. Until Kim arrives.
There's no way 6 tables are going to go under here. I'm starting to get really antsy. Now I can't see it at all.
Honey, it's going to be okay.
Charmaine's always the positive one. And I know inside that is so not what she's thinking at all. And I know how she feels when she walks into that backyard.
And even though the wedding is only 2 days away, Kim and Charmaine throw in the towel.
You're tired.
I think we need to stop.
And the next day, Jane returns to check on their progress.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's the day before the wedding. I bet you they're back there, chain smoking. So unproductive.
Jane!
We have a tent.
We do have a tent, but it's a lot smaller than we had actually envisioned.
But Jane has an idea. Move the smaller tent in off the deck.
Don't have them.
And Kim and Charmaine do a happy dance.
They've got half an hour to the rehearsal and they're dancing. But shouldn't they be panicking? I mean, I'm panicking. Is it just me? Or is there a wedding tomorrow?
So while the girls sit back, Jane starts setting up the tent. And even though she's supposed to be decorating, she can't help but notice there's something wrong with the rehearsal.
Why are you walking down with Kim's son?
I don't know.
Originally, Kim thought it would be nice to have her 2 sons walk her and Charmaine down the aisle. But Jane doesn't think that's right.
What do you think your dad would say? He could be standing here with a heavy heart going, I'd have loved to have walked my daughter down the aisle. But unless you ask the question, you never know. I'd rather know, wouldn't you?
Jane's made Charmaine reconsider the ceremony, and so she asks her dad a very important question.
For your only daughter's wedding, what would be the highlight for you, the special moment?
Giving you away.
Okay, will you walk me down the aisle?
Certainly will. Thank you.
Even though it wasn't a wish, I couldn't help myself, I just had to. A father always wants to walk his daughter down the aisle. What else could he ever do?
Thank you, Jane. I will be forever grateful to Jane for having that conversation with me.
After that's settled, Jane sits down to go over the wedding day itinerary.
What time does the day start tomorrow?
Noon is when the food is supposed to be picked up. 2 o'clock, the flowers are to be picked up.
All of this stuff has to be picked up and brought over here.
I don't know how we're supposed to pick up all this stuff. I wish we had someone who could do the running around for us and pick up the stuff.
Talk about beating around the bush.
We still have one more wish.
Do you want me to pick the cake up? Do you want me to pick the food up? Or do you want me to pick the flowers up?
We would just like you to do all of the pickups for us.
So your wish is?
Will you please do the pickups for us tomorrow?
Please, please, please.
Yes, of course. And I haven't even started decorating yet.
Well, you better get moving, girl.
And so Jane grabs some helpers.
Okay, everybody, come on to do this wish. I need all the hands I can get.
And starts on wish 2.
What have we got?
But the dollar store decorations just don't do it for Jane.
I have nothing to decorate with. Give me some props to work with. I mean, you know, I don't have a real magic wand.
But Jane works until the wee hours, twinkling and tooling away.
What time have I got to be up in the morning? Are we going to bed?
Wedding planner / fairy godmother Jane Dayus Hinch has received a wedding SOS from brides Charmaine and Kim.
It's so overwhelming that I can't get the words out.
Jane can grant the couple 3 wishes to save this disaster. The first was to clean up their backyard wedding venue.
The things I do for wishes.
And the second wish was to decorate the wedding tent.
I can't make it look any worse.
But now it's the wedding day, and Jane's moved on to the third wish. Pick up all the food and flowers. First stop, the florist. But there's a problem.
You're too early. I don't have them ready.
Nothing's ready. It's a disaster. Oh, how long will they be?
Another 2-3 hours at least.
But that's not good enough for Jane. So she tells the florist she'll be back in an hour and the flowers better be ready.
I'll work on them right now.
Jane puts it behind her and motors on to pick up the food. But there's another problem.
Oh, you're supposed to pick up next week. No, not next week. Today. In fact, the wedding is in 5 hours.
Oh.
Can you believe they think the wedding is next week?
I will try it. I don't know. I'm not sure I can make ready or not.
So Jane waits and waits and waits some more.
I can't believe this.
And miracle of miracles, they get the food ready. And then it's back to the florist to see if the flowers are done. Well, it looks like everything's coming up roses for Jane, but the brides aren't looking so hot.
I am trying to relax a bit.
Woke up 3:30, got up around 3:45, wrote my vows. I'm hoping that I'm going to get my second or third wind.
Okay, before I start hyperventilating, you guys need to get out of my hair for a while. Goodbye, love you, bye.
Alrighty then. Meanwhile, back at the wedding venue, Jane delivers the food and flowers and has just enough time for finishing touches.
I've never done a wedding with plastic tablecloths. You know you've made it when. Ideally, you wouldn't put these colours together.
And ideally, you wouldn't have place settings that are flammable.
Elegant china and fabulous silver cutlery. Do we do this in England at weddings? No.
As night falls, Kim has just enough time for one last smoke as a single lady, and the ceremony is underway. Kim walks down the aisle with her 2 sons, followed by Charmaine on her father's arm.
When Charmaine walked out onto the deck with her father, it turned into one of the most precious moments of the ceremony.
Just to touch her is knowing that I'm part of something wondrous and indescribable.
I was very worried that Charmaine wouldn't get her vows done. But at 4 o'clock this morning, she got up and sat and wrote the most wonderful vows.
You give me love and laughter. You have taught me to hope and dream again. And to be with you is to be home.
With this ring, I thee wed.
I be wed.
Woohoo! Let's party!
Our wedding was fabulous.
Every single little aspect of it was fabulous.
It was.
Was there any wish that we gave Jane that she wasn't fabulous at?
When I met Kim and Charmaine 3 days ago, did we know whether we could pull this off? No. But here we are with a couple that are married, very much in love, and have had the wedding of their dreams. We had 3 days to do this. I've never had so much fun, so much laughter, so much tears.
Thank you so much, Jane. Jane,
Oh,
this is for you.
I'm saving a Lebanese wedding.
But something's not
Quite right.
There, that put a smile on your face. I'm glad.
Thank you. Never, ever am I going to live this down.